How we doing, guys? Oh, that's a 41. Check this out real quick. Wow. 41 proof. It was torn and tagged, but like I said, you gotta look for them fine points. Some people don't know where to be looking for them. Sometimes the mint mark right there. As for San Francisco, that was quick. 41 die cracks for sure. There's some stuff going on with this coin. It might be a it might be a genetic misfire. I'm not gonna jump the gun real quick. It ain't nothing like one of these areas, but we'll get there. Are you kidding me? You're trying to go wild in here. Just trying to go nuts. You gotta calm down. Whoops. We're on our first roll and right away. Right away, a 41 proof. Right away. Got that 41 proof real quick. Right, beginning of the first roll. We're still on the first roll. We just a few coins in, but yeah. Right away, 41 proof. Might honestly be an error too. Who knows? $90 Denver. How's everyone doing this morning? 24s. You see any 24s? Keep all your 24s. Very low mint round. It's like 38 million. They usually do close to 400 million, so I'd keep all your 24s. Two. Wow. Got a little. Don't know what's going on with it. We'll figure it out though. 41. You know, right away we got that 41 proof right here. I don't know about this one. Well, we ain't got no mint mark that we can see of. Not like this one. That was our first one right away. Yeah, we just popped one of these. It just looks really torn and tattered. You can't tell. Gotta get them. You gotta get them. We want that stuff that's not intended for circulation. That's why we go after proofs and strikes. Stuff of that nature. Mysteries abound. Oh. Lois and Clark thingy. Ooh. Bless you guys. Isn't it? Sorry about that. Oh. What the hell we got here? We got 87 radar detector find maybe. I don't know. It's not that, but it's looking a little odd. Oh, Lewis and Clark again. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, take it easy, you. Wow, what the hell happened to you? Too much Colgate. Calcified the brain. Whoops. 22. You know, this is the second half of the box that we did from the other night. No 24s out of this entire box. Now, the last box, we got 2 dozen. It happens, though. We got a lot more proofs out of this box than the last one, too. And what's even more crazy is this is the first one that popped up. This is a 41. You know, right at the end of our penny hunt, we hit a whole bunch of wheat pennies, and 2 of them were 41 strikes. Or proofs, I should say. Proofs. I don't think they were doing business strikes back then yet. Got an 1888 Indian head, too. That was one of the nice gob stompers out of it. .48. Denver. Oh. 70. Let's check that 70 out here. Oh, looks like a 70 Denver. So, we'll let her pass. .62 Denver. nope. Oh, After this box, though, we'll be doing dimes. We haven't done dimes. I don't think we actually did a full box ever on a hunt, so that'll be making etching some more the histories in, because we haven't done that yet. So scratch that one off the map. $49. Gotta like them old years. Yeah, the AM49 over here. It's all good. Keeping the 49s no matter what. Gotta keep all the old skis. Ooh. 39? Oh, yes, sirree. Looks like it might be a... Unless that's what the normal mint mark looked like. Look at look. It's a double for sure. A double adverse. You can just tell, maybe even more. I think their dies back then were real. Their planchets were real weak. Because look at that. You can just see it. We find 39s and real early stuff from here. Even earlier than this. I have to do some comparison. I haven't seen one that's totally looking like this. This is a big one right here. No, because this one just sticks out hard when it comes to, I don't know if that would have been one of the known errors, but that's a big time keeper right there. You can just see it. Double. Die breaks. There's a lot of weird shit going on, but back then their planchets, I bet, were a bit weak because I've noticed a lot of the numbers are sticking out, looking obtuse. No 24s yet, like I told you, right? Be lucky if we get a few. Still a little excited how right away we get this 41 proof. One of these guys and a 41. Yeah, the sound bitch is nice. Yeah, I've got your San Francisco mint mark right there. This one, them nice dark beauties, 41. Just like what we got down here, just a 41. Don't let it fool you. You know what I'm saying? You motherfucker pride and true. That's what we just hit right there, one of them 41s. So don't be judging books by their cover. You gotta be transparent when it comes to this. Like, you can't look at a coin and be like, oh, because it's dirty or it looks nasty, that there is no significance. That's probably where it has the most significance. You don't want to underplay it. 63. 84. What up, Walter? Well, happy birthday, Walter PPK. Happy birthday, brother. Right away, we just cracked an old dirty 41 proof. First coin. Pretty much an ender on the first roll from this hunt. Yeah, I think it's nice, honestly. A lot of people be sleeping on them. Big time. I keep all the old skis anyways. You know that. There's a 58. Gotta keep all of them out. A lot of people don't realize, like, the diamonds in the rough they're tossing. But we're going to be doing dimes here soon. I know I'm going to... Ooh, look at that. Ho-ho. I like that. Rations of thrashings right there. Yeah, that's what you call one of them toners. Oh, yeah, you don't be seeing this a lot, guys. Totally grab this. Don't be thinking this thing slid down the sewer, guys. That's not what happened here. That's not what happened here. The machine didn't behave. It's not the coin's fault. No 24s out of this entire box, Walter. Not like last box, you know. Last box, you were like, what's going on, man? Gratitude, gratitude. Oh, here we go. We just got our second proof. 68. Okay. 68. Like our first one was a 41. This one is looking pretty healthy, though. Yeah, we'll take. That's our second proof of the hunt. We got a 41 and a 68 now. Line them babies up. I do have another one. Hey, Walter, I want you to see this. Is that, what do you think of that one? It's not a proof or nothing. It's a 39, but look at it. That son bitch is rough. They either had weak planchets or something, or they double stamped or something, man, because look at all this craziness all the way around. Or was that just normal back then? A West Point dime? Really? What? See, I love that you're bringing this to existence because I had no idea about it. Almost like when we did the very first Nick Hunt on here, you know, months ago. And I didn't know nothing about war nickels. Right away, we start hitting them. So, man, now you got me going. But yeah, like, what is this normal? Because it don't be looking normal, man. Like, on an average coin, that wouldn't be normal. I know that, but I know back then their stuff was real clanky and janky. So, I'll let you figure that one out. But I wanted you to see that. I don't know. I feel like some of their stuff was just really... The 69's looking crazy. I like it, though. Oh, and I see why I like it. I could feel it, and it had the makings of a varsity athlete. Look. That's our third. That's our third proof, guys. Yeah, you seen, though, how it looked like a damn... Yeah, like it was smushed during that, and how it looks like it was, like, double stamped almost sometimes on some of the letters. I don't know. Like I said, I have to do a lot of... But, like, that's why I keep all, like, the older ones, because they have different characteristics when it comes to certain things during the mintage process. But, yeah, this is our third one. We've been hitting these guys hard right now. Very hard. This is our third one. And I knew it had the makings of varsity athlete when I could feel it in my hand. Yeah. That's number 3, guys. That's number 3. That's number 3. And that's why we do this, because you see that? All that stuff that we're cracking is not stuff that was ever intended for circulation. They just like these. They just got some camo on because they've been in the war. They had to go down those rabbit holes, you know? And we're here to extract them out. That's just all there is to it. Ooh, there's an old 64. I got so many 64 I don't really try but you see what I'm saying though? Like there's a 60. You see how that 60 just looks all mushy mush by default? I ended up finding a little hoard of like some of my other foreign money, but it's not stuff that was found, you know, with us all together. Like it's stuff like from my own collection that I forgot all about. And God, I didn't realize how much foreign money I had like sitting around. My daughter was keeping it on nice. I didn't realize it. She ended up tossing it at me yesterday so I could go through it, and it's crazy. there you go. Bugs Bunny coin, huh? The teeth. Sounds eventful. I start keeping those for somebody's. Somebody wants all those. They might be onto something too. I don't know. Ooh, what we got here? 42. Okay. Let's see. Shell Shock from the 42. See what we got going on here. You see what I'm saying? How shoddy I guarantee their planchets were like, oh, look at that. There's something going. Either or, we gotta keep them. That's a nice key. Ooh, 59 again. 59 Denver. Got a 59 Denver Dunta. That one's actually looking a little decent, especially for being a 59. Like I said, we're gonna be doing like a thing with the old skis too. Because there's a lot of significance. There's a lot of different things going on here, guys, and soon the nickel's gonna be gone, but next year they're gonna be implementing they're trying to implement a new form of the nickel that has nothing to do with this bicentennial year. So, but then after that, they're shutting it down, and they're gonna keep working their way up. Dime, quarter. It's gonna take some time, but that's why they would already started with the penny. Oh shit! What do we got here? Oh, 76. Nope, no meant me. But yeah, I think 4 rolls in, and we've gotten 4 proofs already. 41s, some 60s. Like I said, can't wave your nose at nice little toner air. Most likely, I'm not gonna jump onto the assumption wagon, but I'm willing to bet my red money that's in there. But you just never know, unless you send it in to get graded and it comes back certified. Unless you know for sure. It's a fact from the Falcons. I don't know why you all raining hot and bothered. My personal opinion when it comes to coins, I like the ones that are all messed up and stuff because most people think it was done post-mintage. Well, it might just be, but I found a lot of stuff that ain't. And didn't realize it when I was, pulling it back. I'm not gonna say that it's profitable. I just know that I have a lot of decent coins that we've all found together on here on live, and a lot of them need to go get graded because they're worthy of it. And overall to keep the engine going, yeah. But by default, like I wasn't selling no coins prior to this. Like this is like one of the things that I do personal, but I was collecting, but I never like went through coins, like on my ooh, look at that. You guys see that? Is that normal? Is that normal? That looks like a reverse clash if that's not part of the coin. That little circle in there. No, that's what I figured. That's a die clash. That's a die clash of sorts. I feel like, or something. But yeah, that's an error. That should not be going. But that's what I'm talking about, guys. But like this is my very first error we ever found, and not it's a nickel, but it's what got me on the errors. Right here. This is my very first error I ever found with y'all. That I could actually say, yep, we got an error. Without any expertise, being very novice and green behind the ears. No, I'm serious, and I'm telling you this right now. I just started brushing and more up on this once we got the scope. The minute I got the scope, it integrated directly into the channel. There was no having it without it. Like everybody was requesting it, everybody wanted it. What's cool about this coin is it's the front. That's all homonatrad. Come down multiple times, cut this one over. But if you flip it over, cool as a cucumber. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know the difference. You would have no idea that this son of a bitch was all up to no good, up to some shenanigans. It's not its fault though, but you gotta love it. It's one of those true epic errors that nobody can take away from you, no matter what anybody says. Absent it being graded, you get it graded, it's gonna say it's in there. It's probably not something that's super extravagant, but it's still enough to be, and it's cool. But like this, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to put that off to the side. That's just gonna have to. We're gonna have to cross that bridge eventually. Yeah, and the back's reverse. There's a magnet. See, that's the thing that's cool with theirs. There's a multitude of things at different magnitudes that can happen. I mean, you can have most of the time you got compound errors where you got 2 or more errors going on in the coin. I mean, I've found coins that have 2, 3, 4. So I don't know if one out trumps the other, but I feel like the mixture of them being, that really sets a mark too, I feel like. Yeah, I would keep every penny you get a hold of. We just went through our very first box of pennies on here. Our very first, and every box of pennies that I get a hold of, I'm keeping them all, even after I go through them. 79. This one's looking rough. Can't really see much that's going on. Wow, can't even see the mint mark. What would you take that as? A D? That's a D. It looks like a D for sure. Even though it's worn out to the bone. Yeah. It'll get there. $64. That's a D for sure. Like I said, there's probably a billion damn things out there, and we're getting to know it as we go along. Whoa. Look at this on a 63. Look at look at the die look at all this. Oh shit. Let me Look at that. Like, bro, that's crazy. I don't know. Chewed up. Yeah. The motherfucker chewed up all right. A D. For a 63, yeah. I'm surprised it made it. See, nickels are awesome, but you want to know one thing I noticed about dimes? I mean, pennies? When you do pennies, man, a roll lasts good almost 5 minutes. I'm serious, because you got 50 coins. Oh, I know. This is one of the mornings that ain't happening. Believe me, thank you for your concern. No, I'm dead serious. I don't tend to forget it. It eludes me sometimes. It can be problematic. There's always room for improvement in this existence we call our lives. So I appreciate just because hey, I know exactly what come with like you toxicity, poison. Believe me. When I was younger, I used to scrap metal in the heyday when you could buy a car that was broken down and ready to puke for fucking $75 and break it down and make $600-700. So I know what you mean. What is that? A little D? Oh, that's a tiny P. I've never seen a tiny P like that in my life. Look how small that P is. Like that's a little weird. That looks like one that would be on a penny. Wow. That little P. No, I'm dead serious. Like, hey, I can't get mad at you for saying that. I'm actually happy. No, it just shows that there are people out there that are not one sided, and then it's not all about this or that. For you to go out your way to say that you're concerned. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's something going on with that little P. I don't know. That's a Denver. I don't know. Some of these I like to hold off to the side and just look at them a little more. But no 24s yet. No 24s. That's cool. Yeah, we've never went through too many pennies. Like I said, the first box we just had done with the other night. There's a 64. What do we got here? Oh, what do you got? What do you got? Oh, that's a Denver Dunt for sure. It's trying to hide and shit. It doesn't have the courage to come out. It's all right though. It'll be okay. $62. Another Denver Dunt. Okay. Whatever floats your boat. $24s. Grab up all the $24s you come across. Very low mint run. Like 38 million. Usual print run is like close to 400 million. So they did under 10% of their average circulation strikes that year. So, ooh, look at this ender. 57er. 57 Dunt. Ooh. Yeah, he'll learn to behave. It ain't like one of these bad boys, but he'll still learn to behave. Oh, yeah. You got to get it sometimes. I'm liking this. I'm liking this one right here, though. Yep. I like getting the ones from the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, honestly. Those are like the big ones, the massive gob stompers. Make you feel all oxless and oxless. But it seems like there's a lot of errors out there, so it's like certain years. You might want to hold on to them until you can vet them a little more. Otherwise, it could be problematic. Yeah, yeah. And what's funny is that's not the only denomination that thing is happening. Like they found, I guess there's a few, like two or three, like 1965 and 67 and 68 dimes that were struck on silver planchets. Yeah. So, and you got to remember this stuff, whether I don't think they can sit there and actually go out of their way to sit there and go, you know, like premeditate to do it on purpose. So, inadvertently done, best case scenario. But for that type of stuff to get out, that's the type of stuff that moves mountains. Yeah. No, because it's just so fucking unicorn rare. Like you're just that type of stuff is just non-existent. So, damn, that's a little P too. 81 little P. Ooh, 39er. Ooh, this little bastard didn't want to behave. No mint mark. Well, screw you too, you commie tripe. That's a 39er though. Oh yeah, he's out of there. He's got to stay. Here's another dice air I like to show. This one's got a magnitude of things going on it too. Yeah, this is another compound area you ain't gonna get around. Beautiful little specimen. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Liking that fucking toner. Ho, ho, ho. Pride and Shrew, I'm loving that. I'm telling you, depending on how this toned, they would know. Keep the toner. Sometimes you just got something, you just don't realize it. I'm telling you. Don't undersell your thoughts. You know, you got to have a positive can-do attitude when you're doing this. Yeah, I always enjoy doing it. I don't do it by myself, always with you guys. It ain't going to happen any other way. Well, there you go. Look, we got some of my first sniffs knowledge over here. '91 Philly. Well, dude, you know, like we've had a lot of weird stuff happen like this. This was found in the fourth or fifth, the last roll of the pennies. And I guarantee it got yanked off somebody's neck at the mint because it was in there and this was sticking out of the roll. It was fucking crazy. Damn medallion. I guarantee it got yanked off somebody's neck and got pulled in through there somehow because it don't happen like that otherwise. Something went down. Hell yeah, it didn't come out either. He fell and didn't get back up. The hell? I don't know what happened to you, but hugging the floor to hold on. Gotta stay. 60. Denver. I don't know. I know one thing, though. I know that anybody can go have a tour, walk through that place. And like I said, knowledge is power. So I don't think they're going to deny anything. Like if you ask 100 questions, you're going to get your 100 answers. Ooh. Ain't our first one. It's our first one of the box. Save the manatees. We already have it in our book, but we'll take it. We didn't get no new pennies, but there's our 26 nickel. Got that scope and it can't hit little. That motherfucker like a hit off a nickel. Ooh, what do we got here? Oh, 64 Dunta. Huh? Yeah, Denver Dunta. Ooh, got a runner. No 24 yet. Commies. Doing some backdoor deal, teaching everybody how to twist and turn the knife. Wow, I thought that one had the makings of a varsity athlete. Back to back, come on. No, man, Mark. Oh, Monticello, shame on you. Little P. Ooh, Tumblad. These are nice little airs too. I like. Yeah, he's stuck. He's stuck in that quagmire. You know that Frederick Douglass I found? Making it look like Afro Man smoking on a bee and stuff. Don't look nothing like this, but it's awesome. Ooh, something. We haven't found a proof in a while. Let's see what we can do. A northern yak would be awesome. I think we've only found 4 or 5 northern yaks. What's going on with him? That's got to be post-mintage. What the hell's going on here? Yeah, that's post-mintage for sure. That wasn't even one of the coin and printed on. That's a Denver done to that. Ooh, there we go. 46. All right, pretty healthy. We'll take it in stride. Most definitely. Yeah, we'll take. Well, you want to know what they want allowed and what's going to be allowed are two different things. It's what God permits. Then isn't that something? It's what God permits. Ain't no getting around it. It's inevitable, like dying or the sun coming up. It's going to happen. We all have lessons to learn in this existence we call our lives. Oh, that was a Denver for sure. That's a nice 69, though. I know 69 wasn't really doing much back then, but we found a lot of proofs from that year. We've got a lot of proofs from that year. Well, whatever's allowed and whatever happened to be allowed and whatever's permitted is just, that's three different things. It's almost like what you want and what you need are two different things. You see how that works? Damn, this one's healthy too, but it's a Denver for 68. Hmm. 68 done to that. I don't know why it's so appealing to me. Probably that right there. It's an air. It's an air for sure. Yeah. Ain't no getting around it. Not a fancy one, but totally one for sure. But that's going to be what's going to make it. The strain maybe is just a little too much for you to bear. No 24 yet. Ooh. Jumper. $89. Damn. 69 Philly looking like a deep dish. 96, I mean. 96. Most definitely keeping that. What year is that? 75. I don't think you hired enough. I don't think nobody hired enough. You could never hire enough. The people you hired. Now I understand it's all the people you hired that ain't getting it right? Well, maybe you got to tell them. I thought you were the teacher, huh? I thought when you were doing it was class. Maybe you got to go tell them and hire more. Sometimes they want more. Wow. This 2000 is green around the gills. Most definitely a keeper. I think you didn't hire enough. I would put somebody else back in more charge of the hiring process. I think you got to worry about people trying to slip it in. You don't want them to find your incision, do you? That would be a rough one. I don't think it'd be enough for you to do. I can make it happen even if it airlifts the governor, but you're going to have to do more hiring, or you're going to have to put somebody new charge in hiring because you just never hired enough. No, because that's why they're still starving, because you never hired enough. I guess you just didn't have it in you, huh? You didn't have the makings of a varsity athlete, so you let them die on the vine and peter out, huh? While you sat there stuffing the face. You let them wither out, huh? And you were talking about how you needed to hire. Well, they're there, but you just didn't do anything. It was almost like if they were drowning, you threw them a cinder block. Well, you could say that you're sorry now, but what does that do for them? This ain't about you. Yeah, remember, there's no I in team, so if you're hiring people, they have to have your faith. I hope you, when it came to the loyalty, you pledged in perpetuity to these people. Otherwise, that's probably why this is all happening. Master Splinter got his last fucking word in, and he's tumbling your shit like a fucking house of cards. And you're just all hot and bothered about it because you know that everybody's on their way out and nobody wants to act accordingly. That's neither here or there. Even a broken clock's right twice a day. But maybe you need to start doing something else, because I don't think hiring is your long suit. Nah, because if you hired more than enough people, this wouldn't even be something you would entertain. We wouldn't even be where we're at right now this very second when it comes to this. You got to remember, you opened this door. You opened it. I don't open doors I can't close. I'm a finisher by default. So when people come on here talking about this and that, you did that, not me. Yeah. But isn't that something? The thing is, what are you going to do about it? That's the biggest thing. Are you going to rectify the situation for those people? Or are they all going to have to stand up like a mutiny against you? You don't want to get drawn and quartered, do you? I'd quit worrying about trying to hire people at this point. I think you slid down that sewer and got stuck. Well, look where you at. Look where you at. See? You slid down that sewer pipe, and now you're stuck. How do you get out of it? How do you help anybody if you can't help yourself? You see where this is going? No, just answer answer the question. How do you help somebody if you can't help yourself? Don't be trying to be a breeder on here with that bullshit. This ain't time for you to be on your fucking soapbox. You leave everybody alone with the politics. If you could sit there and quote the rules the way you were, you could fucking obey them. As simple as that. You don't come on here doing that shit. Just like you don't come on here on that religion shit. Well, there's people on here from 15 different religions. That shit's a formality when we're on here, so nobody wants to hear it and we're not polluting nobody with it. That's all there is to it. Everybody has diplomatic immunity on here and is coinciding in harmony and not worried about shit like that. So you can't be doing that here. That's why I said you want to slide down that sewer and get stuck. That's exactly what you did. But nobody made you do it. Ooh. Hoo-hoo. A hoo-hooer. A 55er. The Kaiser. The 55er. The 55 Duntadunt. Ooh, we're going back. The 51er. Oh. The 51er. Gotta love the old skis. Ooh, see, we're going deeper, guys. Look, 1940. This one's looking healthy, ain't it, guys? Oh, I can't tell. Look at that 40, though. Always keep that 30 and that 40 next to me. Oh, yeah. That's a nice one. Look at that. We went from what? 55 to 50 to 40. Come on, let's find one in the 30s. We gonna make it. We gonna make it. Damn, that one was looking healthy, too. I guess they all could look healthy if you wanted them to. Ooh. Ooh, 41. Yee. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting them. Yeah. You gotta love the old skis. Hell yeah, that motherfucker stand through the test of time. Harder than Korean steel. Washington Park, boy, right over here. Come on with it. $72. Wow, I haven't seen a 64 clean like that. That's a dent on it. You can never brush up enough on your skills when it comes to errors. There's always new stuff to be found. There's always stuff to be unearthed, stuff that you don't even know that's out there. Because like I said, we have no control over how some of these be spitting out some errors. So when they hit, they hit. Damn, look at that greaser air. Oh, that's not a grease air. That's a tar air. That's not even air. That's just yeah. That's something just oh Lord. 82. You ain't nowhere near that stuff. Meet you at Mo's place. Buffalo. Little Buffalo. We need the real Northern Yak. You ain't coming out nowhere. Because you don't want to be using the movers, none of that shit either, too. Like a damn, so I'm gonna go on. $95. Ooh, 81. hell? Oh, 89p. It was looking weird for me. I was just looking at it like, what the heck? Ouch. I don't know what happened to you, but it'll be all right. We'll get you back to health. Damn. Keeping that one too. Well, isn't that something? That's all it's going to happen? Well, Buffalo. Been dry on a proof for a while, but at least we hit the ground running and didn't look back when it came to it. 64 Denver. I'm just keeping those just so I can look through them for, you know, whatever they might have. Nothing special. I just like looking at some of the older ones. The older, the better, though. $66. $65. I still can't believe we found a 41 proof, though, right away. First coin. He might be torn and tattered, but he's still there. He's standing tall and true. Ooh. Wow, he's all gritty. Looking like an 86 Denver Dun-Dun-Dun. 46. Denver. You can see it a little bit. The D. Nice. Good one that compares to that. Too much McKillicuddies. Whoops. Ooh, 60. Oh. Ooh, 55. Woo-hoo. Denver, 55. Filled in D. Or was that P over D maybe? I don't know. I don't know what you'd call that commie trap. It's a 55 though. I know he a little green around the gills, but it happens. It tends to come with the territory. In for a penny, in for a pound. No risk, no reward. Chances make champions. Ooh, what was that? 73. I was gonna say, don't get my hot about yet. Whoops. $60 dented it. Ooh, save the manatees. Number 2 when it comes to 26. What? Yee. Ooh. Ooh. 83. 83p. R. Shiver me timbers. R. 63. Doesn't want to fucking 65. Don't want to behave. Whoops. Got some droppers. A-okay. Easy. Same hole, different wall. Whoops. Jumper. We've got a jumper. 53 Denver. Oh shit, the 89 wanted to hide. Uh-oh. Got a runner. Now 64. We'll have to replace that. Ooh, 59er. Whoops. Wow, not 124 yet. Whoops. Couple jumpers. Uh-oh. My bad, guys. My bad. They trying to go. 66. Another Denver. One more roll. We got a few more to do after that, but it'll be dimes later on today. We do get on. It'll be dimes. We got like 10 more rolls and nickels, and then we'll be going to dimes. But we have to do dimes. We haven't done dimes in a while. It needs to go down. Ooh. Oh, war nickel, baby. Back in the war, the last 4 years, they needed nickel more than they needed silver. So to remove nickel, they put 35% silver into these. And how you can tell, it's always the last 4 years. And then above Monticello, a mint mark. I was wondering when we were going to get one of these. We're not a silver hunting channel, but this is a history thing. Nice war nickel. Oh, yeah. And if you find these guys absent mint marks, you look over here sometimes. Sometimes, most of the time up here, though. But yeah, got ourselves a nice little war nickel. Whoa, that's a nice gem. Save the manatees. That was awesome. Ooh. Nice way to finish off. Tell you that. We haven't had one in a while, but we like to hit them. I didn't even know they existed until I did my first hunt. Somebody brought it up. 10 minutes later, we started hitting them. $46. Wow. You see how this one's almost got like the same composition, but there's no mint mark? There might be one here on the side, no. But you notice, you really don't want to pass on that. You see how they almost got the same composition? Sometimes there's ones that are, and you just don't know it, but we don't see a lot of them. And I've never come across one like that. And if I have, we have it, and we just haven't claimed it yet. 46. That's a 44. It's the last 4 years of the war, mind you. The last 4 years of the war, they did that. They needed nickel more than they needed silver for the war effort. That's why they did it. I didn't know nothing about it. I do now, so I can let you guys know. That's like one of the iconic things about nickels, because nickels are made of nickel. So you come across any of those war nicks, you got yourself some nice little things there. Minus the silver. They're cool as hell. $41. Sounds nice. Sounds nice. We were doing them pretty crazy, and can't give our undivided attention just to one singular coin. So we got enough stuff that we did in those for ages. That's why we had to start rotating around. Now, what would be nice, out of whatever rolls are left in this box, we get a buffalo nickel. Or a couple of them. That'd be nice. I mean, shit, our first box of pennies that we just did, we got Indian head penny and a whole bunch of wheat pennies. 2 of them being proofs. 44 proofs. You can't beat that. Yeah, we're going to try just to do the rest of this box so we can seal it off. So when we start our hunt back up, it's going to be dimes. Whoops. My bad, my bad. Well, good luck on your unearthing on there. Wish you many good fortunes in the wars to come. Hey, I believe it's 70, what is it, 78 or 87? All of them, all the way through. And then 2002 to 2020. Those are specifically all not intended for circulation. And then some of the, 21, 20, some of them, they'll tell you. They'll tell you online they're not intended, but sometimes they're not labeled like that. So it's a little problematic. But for the most part, they're good ones to go through because those and gold dollars, there's a handful of them, all not intended for circulation. That stuff was mostly made for collectors and stuff. So finding, proofs and strikes and, everything else is just not intended is very nice. We've always had fun with them. I mean, our last box of gold dollars, I think we got over 150 NIFCs and 20, 30 of them being all proofs, presidential proofs, one business strike. We even got some Susan B. Anthony proofs out of that. Oh, yeah. Yep. 79 and an 81. But these are real nice. These are real nice. Ain't no getting around that shit. But yeah, we have fun with that stuff too. Actually get a little tight. Like I said, can't give you undivided attention to just one singular coin. So, but what's cool with the dollar ones is you can pull all the Sacagaweas off. You can vet them for wounded eagles and try to find a Cheerios coin if you want. So that's something we did, something we do. But like I said, sometimes, like I'm going to tell you this right now, the one box we did, man, we had so many enders that were proofs. It was like, man, you just knew this was going to be a good box. Yeah, it was nice. The business strikes are real cool, but it seems like when it comes to any type of business strike, that's like the rarest thing to pull out of what's not intended for circulation. At least with me it is, and us on here, like, even out of West Points for quarters, like, I think we've got 6 or 7 business strikes to 30 or 40 West Points. But we just got our first West Point silver strike, and it was in a discard pile because that's the thing. The coins are always gone through again before they go back into circulation. So with those quarters, they went through, and it was just a little weird. 42 Denver. Business strikes just made for collectors, man. Exactly what they're called, business strikes. Most of them are vetted out, given as gifts or, this or that. They're just not intended for circulation. Just like proofs. They're not intended for circulation, so they're not put in the... That's why you got Philly and Denvers. Those are your circulation strikes. 58? 58? Like when it comes to the quarters, like when we get done here, I'll show you some... I mean, like, it's pretty much the same principle for... But, a lot of people, they need to see it. I'm not going to lie, man. Until I, seen it, I didn't know. Like, there'd be time I'd pass it up, and I wouldn't know. So, like, you have to... It's not that hard to get with it. Like, you got a few years, give or take, when it comes, exception. Because San Francisco, 9 times out of 10, would do all the proofs and all that. Now, you have a few years with a few different coins where exception proves a rule, where, Philly or Denver had to pick up San Francisco's water, or it was like the switcheroo. Philly or Denver had some business strikes or some proofs going, like they did that with the state program, the straight quarter program. There was like 1 year or 2 years where a few of the coins were minted out of Philly or Denver, and they were business strikes, but, that's neither here or there. For the most part, 57. Nice 57er. For the most part, though, it's like San Francisco, for a lot of the older ones, if you're looking for, some of the rarer ones, if they didn't have a lot of mintage, or New Orleans, or like Carson City, stuff like that. But, for the most part, for what's going on here, it's like West Point, Philly, Denver. I mean, they got other places, but those are just the known San Francisco. So, yeah, give or take. But like, like the 50 cent pieces, you can tell a business strike obviously from a fucking proof, because a business strike has just got that mirror clad, and you got your S, you got your San Francisco mint mark. This is a bicentennial we yanked from a hunt, but you just got your business clad that goes over it. When it comes to your proofs, you have your mirror cameo, your dark mirror cameo, but you have your frosted obverse and reverse, like minted Prater. Also with your S mint mark. And these are your, when you see them like this, that's your standard, your standard copper core one. Now, if you want to pull a true NIFC without having to be 2011 proof, silver clad strike. And they made 487,000 of these, so not a lot. This is a proof, but this is a silver clad proof. And you can tell the difference. You don't see the the brass and the copper core in there, because there is none. So, but these are all these. Anything that you see us yanking is all not intended for circulation. Like, that's just a standard copper core. But like our first one wasn't like we don't like to get normal silver. You want to know why? Because we're not a silver hunting channel. Like, we're not going to wave our nose to it, but it was intended for circulation. The composition of coins are just different now. So, like, mind you, when it comes to them, we only got a few rolls left. That's why, people are asking. I have to help y'all. I want to make sure y'all are on the same page, and, we're all copacetic here. Trying to find what I can for you. What did I do with them son bitches? I don't know. I'm going to find them. They're somewhere around here, but they're probably right up under my fucking nose. But, your average little silver one, they're not shiny like this, and they're not covered. This is not your standard strike. This is a silver clad 64. Now, 64, all the other ones, they just look like commie silver. Where, just clink, 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 clink. They're really soft. Right here we go. I'm allergic. But like, this is what you would call your standard silver clad. But this is your standard silver. And from that year, this is what it was made of. So, that's your average 64. This is your 64 silver clad strike. So, they both the same, but this one just has an extra clad on it, which makes it special and an NIFC in its right. This is not an NIFC. This is just how the standard composition was back in that day. Okay? Just how it was. We do not do this. Like, this is stuff that we found, but this is what we're after, because this is not intended for circulation. This is. So you got to keep that in mind, guys. You got to keep all that in mind, put that in retrospect. Like, we specifically like to deal with stuff that's not intended for circulation, airs, fun stuff. But for the most part, that's the last thing that we're doing is trying. We don't hunt our own kind. We don't hunt vampires and werewolves. But I just have to say, it makes it a lot more eventful. When you're able to yank stuff that's not supposed to be in circulation, it makes things a bit more epic. There ain't no getting around it. Nobody can ever take it away from you. So I love it when people come on and go, man, I love that you're doing this on your channel. Nobody else does it. It's like, yeah, it's because I'm not everybody else. Everybody else want to be one-sided. But that's okay. Learning curves. There's always room for improvement in this existence we call our lives. But there's more to coin. There's more in life, and there's more to the coin than just fucking silver. That's why for the longest time I hate when people come on, hey, no, we're not. We are not. That is that's not even something that we entertain. Like I said, if it ain't broke, we're not fixing it for the war effort. But other than that, no. We don't care about that shit. We like to get the super old stuff because it historical value. Yeah, that's a, we just yanked that one. We haven't had one in a while, but we also haven't been doing hunts. Like, we started back up with nickels last week, and we're going to keep on it. But yeah, prior to that, yeah, somebody brought them up to me, and within 10 minutes of them bringing them up to me and it being, part of another thing to scratch off the map, we start hitting them hard. Like, after this hunt, after I line up all the hitters, I'll see how many of the war nickels that we've actually captured. Damn, that 64 is looking healthy. Especially, what is that, Dan? For a Denver, Jesus. Some bitch looking too healthy. Numbers ain't even messed up or anything. Now, that is crazy. You'll never find a 64 like that. A 46. And like I said, sometimes they had some misprints. Or should I say errors, where you had war nickels and it didn't have it above. It might have it over here. But you could just tell from the composition of the coin. But that's a major error. You need it. You really want it. You really want it above Monticello. Those are your standard ones. But the thing is, it even says in my outdated book that there's a lot of fakes that are out there, but there are errors. They're very rare, but they do exist. And those command a premium. Well, they must need the cash. Ooh, what's going on here? That 94 is crazy. Indeed. I concur. Ooh, 38. Oh, that one just told. I can feel who's going to get the Heisman next year on that one. It is 38. Ooh, look at that, too. Ooh, all the way through on a 38. I can't wait to get all my fucking 38s together and start comparing them. Yeah. That's a healthy son of a bitch. Look at that 8, too. I've never seen an 8 like that. Yeah, it looks like somebody rewrapped the noodle and unwrapped and rewrapped the brain. Looking like shit. I like that, though. Young 38 there. We haven't got one 2024. Now, last box, we got 2 dozen. Not one 2024 out of this box. Just to show you how rare 2024 is, keep all your 2024 nickels, especially circulation strikes. Extremely low print run. Yes, I do. I don't know where they're at right now, but I guarantee I do because I keep all that stuff. I'd have to look to specifically make sure it's that year, but I'm going to pull back. I'm just telling you, like, a lot of people, they like to toss them, and it's like, I don't. So there's a good chance that I could. Like, I pulled a couple black beauties out of here. Look, very first coin, pretty much the ender on the beginning of this hunt. Look, very first coin, 41 proof. Yeah, a 41 proof right here. This was our very first coin. Fucking 41 proof, baby. Doesn't look like, hey, don't look like that badass. Don't look like that badass, but it's a proof for sure. There ain't no getting around it. It's a 41 proof. It might not be looking like this one, but guess what? It don't need to. We know that this one is like that. It's just 41, not 62.
That's all. That's that's how we hit it, and then we start hitting it really hard. So like ripping the pavement up with our feet. Right here. Right there. You see the mint mark? San Francisco, man. That's how you know it's a proof. That's not no ordinary circulation strike, brother. And that's just a fact from the Falcons, bro. That's why you can't judge coins, because you know this is what they look like when they're made. This is a 62 proof, okay? No, I'm just saying this is what they look like when they come off, when they're minted. But you can't, just because it don't look like that don't mean it. That's why you can't perceive it to be what you don't know it to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't judge books by the cover. I wouldn't, because you'd be counting a lot of them out. And a lot of them are tried and true, just like the shiny ones. There's more than the picture that meets the eye. Just like going through your coins again. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. Vetting your coins is one of the best things you can do. I guarantee the more you go through, the more you'll find. You'll find things you didn't find the first time around. Oh, I know. We've been getting a lot of 30s and 40s. We love that stuff. $61. Denver, behave. Okay, we got 5 more. We're decent. We got 5 more rolls. We can whip it. We can work it. Yeah, the first part of this hunt, I think we grabbed about 10 proofs, mostly ranging from 69, a few 61s and 2s, and some 70s. So when we started back up today, getting that 41 proof right away, that was crazy. That was real crazy. Like that's a heavy hitter to me, because that's not intended for circulation. Never was and never will be. Well, that's why we do this, because it's like, you know, I love doing this, and I wouldn't have it any other way. There's no I in team. Plus, you know, it's a give and take. You guys know stuff I don't know. Sometimes I know stuff y'all don't know, and it's a perfect exchange. You still, what are you talking about? You'll find one on here with us. You know, the last time we did quarters, we got 4. We hit our record. We matched our record, because our record of finding in one single hunt was 4 West Points. But you want to know what was crazy about this time? We thought it was 3. But like I said, everybody, we go through the coins again, right? We found the 4th, and it was a V75. It was a weird farm. But guess what? It just wasn't another one of those. It was a Silver Strike West Point. And I couldn't tell unless you're looking at it from the fucking edges. And that's why, like, we don't look for silver. So, like, when that happened, I had to do all sorts of shit, because I was like, this ain't right. I weighed it. It weighed lighter. It made sense. Silver weighs lighter, so. Well, I'll show you the ones that I'm telling you, if you go back to our quarter, like, if you go back just a week or two, our quarter hunts, you'd see, like I was saying, I got people come on all the time, and they're like, I've never found one. I'm like, you'll find one on here with us. Within 5-10 minutes, we'll yank one. But, like, we were hitting them hard. Ooh. Look, guys. We might have another one. A Warnick. We might have another one, guys. Hold on here. Hold on. We might have another one. Behave. I think we got another one. Come on, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Save the manatees. Number 2 on the Warnicks. I told you, guys. I told you. Seeing is believing. Everybody that was here with, nobody can take this away from you. This is number 2 on the Warnicks. Behave. Save the manatees. Ooh. Like I said, when you see that composition, you should know. You start feeling that you're going to see who's going to get the Heisman for the next 5 years. Here we go. Look. Like I said, yet again, your standard ones that you should be coming across that are tried and true will have the mint mark above Monticello. You can find some sometimes that are somewhat rare. If they're missing a mint mark there, you should have it right over here in the corner. Okay. And if it's not there, so be it. If it's the same composition, I'd take it to go get graded. They can certify it for you. No more interpretation or speculation. That's number 2, guys. Ooh, excellent. Congratulations. You guys are fucking destroying it over here. 51. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I just love the old skis. No, they're so euphoric. Ain't no getting around it. That's why I love nickels. Like, ever since I started doing nickels, I was like, man, I don't care what anybody says. Come on here saying something. That's just going to make me go harder on the nickels with everyone. Because there's a lot of people who love them. We're going to be doing all that. This is how we do it, though. Look at this. This is the last part of the box, too. We're down to 4 rolls. And we're moving mountains a bit, I'd have to say. I'd have to fucking say. Because the last thing I'm thinking of, I'm happy we got the Warnick off the map, but right now it would be real nice since we got 2 Warnicks. Give us a fucking old Buffalo. It's been a while since we got one of those now. We've gotten about 6 out of here since we started, but we'd like to get more. But this is why we do it. The anticipation, the suspense, the glory, the action, the thrill of the hunt. Wouldn't have it any other way. That's right. Just remember, guys, anything's possible if you can put your mind to it. You just gotta be real positive about the situation. Because 2024, very, very low mint run. Your average circulation strike is 400 million for Philly and Denver. That year, they did 38 million, 37 million. That's under 10% of your average circulation strike. So why do you think you haven't seen any 2024s? But if you go back to last week's hunt, we got about 2 dozen out of 1 box. That's fucking rare. Like, honestly, the odds of getting that is like the odds of us getting these 2 Warnicks in 1 box. Like, it should not be happening. Yeah, low mintage. Low mint. 38 million is nothing for a circulation when they're usually pushing out and coughing up 400 million. And that's common knowledge. All you got to do is look in the book. Ooh, 41er. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, 24s all the way across. Phillies, Denvers, the San Franciscos are going to be low anyways. Ooh, a 40. Ooh. Let's get a 39. Rip a rug. It's common knowledge, man. Like my old book right here. My book is going to say, like you can go on your phone. They're going to tell you. They're going to tell you extremely low mint run. And it is. You look at every fucking year from now to up and then go back 30, 40 years. See how many they were doing. You're going to be like, oh shit, you're right. It's not about being right. It's just a fact. I didn't know nothing about it until I looked into it because somebody said something about 24s. And I was like, well, what the hell do they keep saying about 24s? Well, I looked and I seen why. And it makes perfect sense. That is not even a drop in the bucket for 2024. That's why you haven't seen a single 2024. That's how rare they are. That's just all there is to it. I don't make the rules. I didn't, it wasn't up to me on how many was going to get minted that year. I honestly didn't have no clue. Yeah, they didn't even make 10% of what they averagely do. They're usually pushing out about 400 million. 37, 38 million, somewhere in there between them. So, like, that's not a lot. That's really not a lot for circulation strikes. That's nothing. I mean, that's... you cut it down a little bit more, it's almost non-existent. 62? Okay. Well, you can't stay there, even though that year is 62. See, that's the funny part. 62 and 62. Yeah, that's why if you see them, keep them. No, because if you have that, people will buy as many of them as you have because there's just not many of them. And that's what That's what commands them attention and respect. They just wanted that special year that they didn't make too many. So if you find them, you should keep them. You should. It's just a suggestion. Nobody's making you do anything, but you don't do it, you don't do it. Don't sit back and ponder and regret about it. It's not that big of a deal, but for nickels, it is. Because, like I said, the odds of us yanking, we haven't yanked one out of here. Not one. That should tell you something. If that don't tell you, then I don't know what will. I mean, come on, we've gotten 2 26s out of here. Over 24. So that should tell you something. And these are just starting to get pumped in. So think about that. We got 2 26s over 24. See? Number 3 on 2026. Number 3. Save the manatees. See? We've gotten 3 26s and no 24s. Have I not proved the point already? Like I said, I don't make the rules. I don't control who did what at the minute. Yeah, they're shutting it down. Of course they are. I was just telling everybody about that earlier. They're making a new one for next year that they're going to be pushing out. And then after that, they're going to be slowly shutting it down and fading it out. And then they're going to go to the dime. And like I said, then they're going to work their way up. But yeah, see, there you go. There's somebody else talking about how they're going to be discontinuing the nickel. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, you're absolutely right. That is common knowledge. They are fading the nickel out. That's why I be keeping all the old skis. Yeah. Doesn't that make you feel special? That's good. What's got you all hot and bothered, though? Maybe you should get yourself a bed of soup. Yeah? I still have a jar of flies. Yeah, I'll still keep with my jar of flies. Now, I don't think we're going to pull another 41 proof out of here like we did right at the beginning, but we have hit it pretty fucking hard today, guys, off the nickels. Either tonight or tomorrow we'll be starting our dime hunt, which is a long time coming. Hopefully we can get a couple of the new ones in there to put in the book, because that is the only thing that we're missing. Oh, we didn't get... Yeah, we gotta somehow try to fucking hunt down the panty. Nope, neither have I, but we need to do them. It needs to happen. They are part of it. Can't give your undivided attention to everything else. Well, isn't that something? That should make you feel all special and furry and warm inside, huh? Make you feel all fuzzy? I bet you that just makes you feel like you just the thing. Last roll, but we already destroyed it, guys. Like, we did more than what we expected to do on here. A lot. Let's see what this can produce. Wow, that 89 Denver. Whoops. Oh, oh. Ooh, we got a toner from 77. Okay. Like that. 81 Philly. $59. Okay. All right, guys, that was the end of that box. And I'd have to say, we really fucking did some serious damage. Totally towards the end too, you know, right away. I'd have to say, you guys excellent. Right away, our very first coin out of the very first roll, 41 proof. So we hit the ground running. We didn't look back. Got our first proof right here of the day. We ended up getting, I believe, multiple proofs. Other than that, I'd have to say at the end, 2 War Nicks, which was epic. 43, and we've yanked plenty of 43, so you can see the difference between the 43 there that I've been yanking and this one. Composition's a little different. Last 4 years, they took 35% of the nickel out and they replaced it with silver because they needed more nickel in the war. Mint mark above there to certify it. We got 2 of them bastards. 44. P. So there you guys go. And we got all sorts of old ones, all the way dating all the way back to 1930. But yeah, even got some nice toner. I believe possibly an air. You just never know. I've seen weirder stuff happen when it comes to these guys. But yeah, altogether, I think we netted 10 plus proofs from the entire hunt. I'll have to line them all up and get them all in unison and stuff. But remember, guys, just because you see a coin that doesn't look like what a proof should be looking like, don't wave your nose at it, because you might have it sitting right in front of you like this one when that son of a bitch came out. I know that don't look like a proof, but it is. The possibilities are endless when it comes to that stuff. Matter of fact, you know, that's why when it comes to errors, it just, the sky's the limit. Some of the nicest errors that I've gotten, I need to go get certified. But my very first error I ever found, right here. That's my very first error I ever found. It was during, obviously, a nickel hunt, and that's what got me on errors. And this one's really unique in its own aspect because it was the front that was all worn out, not having a trouble behaving, because you can tell. And then the back, you wouldn't be able to tell. So, you know, it's like Jekyll and Hyde. So that's my very, very first error that I ever copped with you guys on live. And then here's another nice one. This, you know, I'd have to say, though, you know, when it comes to certain errors, if it's 2 or more errors that are evident, I call them compound errors. You know, with this, You do have that. You have a magnitude and a multitude of things that are at high magnitudes. I mean, you have the punching errors, and then if you look good enough, you can actually see you have die clash coming in from the other side. And there's other things to be looking for that's happened here, but like I said, just what's obvious. And that's the back. So yeah, it's very unique in its own right. But you can't, when this happens during the mintage process, you can't make this shit up. You can't control a machine. So when this stuff happens, we don't know what's happening, but take advantage of it and embrace it. Or like this. You ever come across coins like this? I can show them to you in many other variants. Certified. I mean, I'm going to let you know this right now. They are. I'm going to send them in once they are. There ain't going to be none of that. But like right here, this is what you call a sanding disc error. It might look like it was done post-mintage, but it wasn't. And, when it comes to all the other coins other than nickels, because other than nickels, they have jagged edges, rigid edges. Theirs always smooth, but that is one thing that you could always see when it comes to like sanding errors and stuff. Like here's with the quarter, or like this. When you look at the back, this happens during the bonding process when it's going down. It's hitting it too hard for too long. There's a magnitude of things happen, but like with a quarter, here's a sanding error, and this is main. But one thing I wanted to show you that always sticks out when it comes to sanding errors is this. That is a major characteristic that happens during the process. A lot of people be like, "Oh, it was put in the press." Well, it was being pressed when it was being minted, so you can say it. But you want to say somebody took it and had it in circulation and just put it in their garage and did some fucking Frankenstein stories. No, because there's plenty of certified errors identical to these that's sold on auction. So like that's the next step. You see things like that's what I would tell you to go on like the mint places that collaborate with the mint, top of the line companies, and look for stuff that they have sold that is errors, because you would be very surprised on what you would have. Or like clad errors or toning errors. Like there's a lot of different stuff out there. And the thing is, some of the stuff it doesn't happen a lot. So when it does, you really want to grab it. I can't tell you the exact term, but what I'm trying to tell you is like anytime you see a coin like that, especially like with it all, like if it's really sanded out, all the outlined and all this will be completely gone. Just that, if you notice, like I can show you ones where you're just on like somebody did that. You would think, but like I said, you go to see ones that have been sent in and certified that look identical to yours. And then you go to the mint and you look and you just put in, sanding errors. They'll show you and tell you how it fucking happened. Like there's 100 different ways a coin can look because wood got in there during the close, the bonding process, grease, food, water, nylon. I mean, like I said, the possibilities are endless, and there's a different pattern that would show up on the coin coinciding with that material that got trapped in there. And some people, let this roll over their fucking heads. And it's like, well, so be it. That's on you. I guess, the pro to it would be one less thing for you to worry about. The con would be you're not able to take advantage and embrace errors. But I'm not sitting here telling you to get yourself in into a hurry. But like, there's certain things that are just obviously evident. Like you ain't going to sit there and just make shit up like you want to. You'll see how far that shit goes. It's not going to go far. Nothing good in life comes easy. So, like, you want to vet your coins right. But, like, there, I'm going to show you another coin. You ever see any like this? It'll focus for us. When it's starting to turn red, that's a clad error. Now, you get ones that are really dark red. Oh, for some odd reason, I guess the collectors love them because it happens during the bonding process. It misses putting a clad on. Or you get ones that are crazy like this. Like I said. That is an air. That's an air all day. And like I said, when you look at it, you can tell they're really unique in their own aspect. You're not going to see lots of these, but when you do, you need to yank them. I would. I've got ones that are really, really beat red though, and like I said, or like some decent toners. A lot of that happens when it's missing some of the metal, or it gets exposed to something, or air makes a fucking unstable mutation. Like here's a nice toner. This is a nice clad air. See how red this one is? Put it under the thing. You see? But yeah, if you can find ones that are like ruby red, almost like this one. Hold on. See how red that one is? You start getting them red like that. For some odd reason, the collectors really like them. I've seen some nice toners go too. Like I said, that's like one of the biggest things, one of the aspects when it comes to airs. Like, that's why I don't leave anything up for grabs. Like, I can't sit here and go, all these right here are all airs. I can't do that. But what I can do is I can put a big pile of coins for us to pick through to get sent in. And whether they are or not, we're going to find out. And there ain't no running from it. But I will guarantee that I'll call ones out before they get sent in. And I'm going to let you know they're airs. I'm not going to argue with nobody. When it comes back certified, it comes back. If it don't, it don't. You can't fight fate. But that's the only way that you're going to be able to lock certain things in. But like I said, do your due diligence. Do some recon. Put your ears to the ground. Get a lay of the land when it comes to it, because there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, there's, this type of stuff happens with every coin. Every coin. So if you're able to find it, or like, hold on here. Where's one of my other real crazy ones? There's a few that I just need to get taken in, and they just need to get done because they drive me nuts. Like, I got this crazy bicentennial one. It's got like the wrong layer of clad on it. It weighs different from a proof to a Philadelphia to a Denver, and it's double die reverse. And it's a bicentennial quarter. Yeah. I can't wait to send that son of a bitch in because I know it's not fake. Somebody one day tried to say, when I pull on the fake, I asked for their opinion, but the thing is, it was like, you line it up with any composition of any other coin, it's the same. But like this one right here, because I can show you a proof and a circulation strike of this thing, and this ain't it. Yeah, this is just, and it perceives to be a business strike, but it's not. And it weighs different from a proof or a Philly or a Denver, but it shouldn't have that on there. And like I said, it's a double dip. So it's crazy. But it should not be looking like that. It shouldn't be looking like that at all. So, and it weighs it. But you want to know what? Let me find, we were just talking about West Points. What I need to do is, wherever those West Points are, I need to show you what I was talking about with like finding because they make silver clads out of the quarters. Those are like NIFCs. Where are they at? Oh, here we go. But yeah, this son of a gun, I can show you a circulation strike right next to it and a proof, because we've yanked a proof bicentennial out of Hunt. And I've got standard ones, but yeah, it's very magical in its own way. So I can't wait to send that bastard in. But it's your standard copper, bonded. So it's not a silver one, but it needs to go. But like here, with the West Points, guys. These are some of the West Points that haven't been wrapped up yet. But look, I'm going to show you 3 different weir farms, okay? I'm going to show you 3 different weir farms. And like, I don't know what the hell. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But like I said, we're going to go back to the whole thing when we were looking at the Kennedys. And I was showing bonded core to, your silver clad. Okay? Let's see here. I'm going to show you. And look, they're going to be all the same. You got standard West Points. You got standard West Points, right? This is what a West Point quarter looks like. You got your W mint mark, okay? Now, they only made them 2019 and 2020. Each one that they only made 2 million of. So these are pretty rough to find, but this is your standard West Point, okay? Now, if you got the Mammoth ones, they'll have a W here and a Privy here, V75, okay? This is Weir Farm, okay? All the Weir Farms are like that. Now we're going to show you. Now this is how we break it down, guys. Look. That's what a V75 West Point looks like. The ambrosias of them. Okay? You guys see that's a Weir Farm. Weir Farm. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Now we're going to show you another Weir Farm. See? So you know I'm not playing tricks with you. V75. V75. Every Weir Farm is a V75. So now look. This is the one that was in the toss pile that was found. West Point V75, right? Weir Farm. Okay? Now, you see, these are this too. Now, I'm going to show you the one that we found in the discard pile. Putting it in the middle. Do you see that difference? Now, I don't know if it's a misprint or why it's doing that, but maybe not. All I know is it weighs completely less than the other ones. All the Weir Farms. And I have way more Weir Farms. But yeah, it shouldn't be like that. So I feel like it's one of those, but it might not be. But it does weigh completely different. And I'm talking it's off. It's off a bit. So I feel like it's a miss. I feel like it's an error, or maybe it's not, but it shouldn't be like that. So like, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, there's certain little things you can look for that could, identify what's going on, what ain't going on, what could be going on. So you're not understanding, man. I've got a box of them in fucking holders. Like, you can't keep, like I said, you can't put all your undivided attention into one coin. Like, when I have time, they'll go in there. Like, they go in with the rest of the West Points. But I'm just trying to show you guys. That one that I showed you that ain't all cop, you could see it around it. That one was in the toss pile. And, we found plenty of them in toss piles before, but not like that. So that's another thing that sticks in our craw. But I hope everyone had a beautiful time. Had an awesome time. I'm going to show you a couple other things before we go. Why not? So you guys know what you guys should be looking for when it comes to certain things. Just in case. You guys already know what Phillies and Denvers look like in the quarters. So when you're going through your quarters, you already seen a West Point. If you find one of these with an S, this is a business strike. Now, most of the time, they got just a shiny extra layer clad over them, but that S is what does it. Now, that's business strike, guys. Now, you find one that's got a dark mirror cameo, frosted obverse, looking nice, what an S, that's a proof. Not intended for circulation. Keep them. They are not supposed to be in there. Well, then we're going to have to figure that out, ain't we? Because that's not something that I tend to have to worry about right now because I never did worry about it. So if it ain't broke, we're not fixing it. The point is, it's here. It'll be here. We're going to keep doing what we do. Just like if you find an older one, that's what an older one would look like. You could still find them every day in rolls of quarters. We do. We found a bicentennial just like this. We have it right here. We have them all. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is like, hey, you see that stuff, grab it. But if you can't spot something like that, you're probably not going to spot anything. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. Sometimes there's, you see why I said it's got a lot of the same characteristics? It's an error. That's an error. Watch, I'm gonna line it up later and take a fucking picture of it with next to the business strike and Philly and Denver throwouts, and we're gonna see. I weigh them all to it. This son of a bitch is gonna come back in air. I guarantee it. I'm willing to bet money on it, but that's neither here nor there either. This is one of my favorite ones we found. West Point V75. Tall Grass Prairie. But yeah, guys, I hope y'all had fun. I know I did. I got stuff that needs to be done. Needs to happen. We're going to try to be back on tonight, if not tomorrow. Dime hunt. That's all I got to say, dimes. And you want to know those scurry little fuckers are going to be running and jumping out of my hands and committing suicide, throwing off themselves off the tables, all sorts of shit. But we're going to get through it. Like, comment, subscribe as your warlord with them. I'm out.